All right, let's dive in. Today we're all about PyPipe.
PyPipe.
Yeah, have you heard of this?
I have, yeah.
It's this Python command line tool, and I think it's particularly interesting for software engineers,
Yeah.
especially if you like working in the terminal a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got a bunch of articles on it. We even looked at the GitHub repo
Nice.
to really kind of get a sense of what it's all about.
Cool.
So our goal today is to figure out if this thing is worth your time.
I like it.
You know,
That sounds good.
is it worth adding to your toolkit or not?
All right, so what's cool about PyPipe is that it uses a very fundamental concept. I mean, people have been doing this forever.
Yeah.
It's called pipeline processing.
Okay.
Basically, you take some data, you run it through a bunch of transformations, and you get what you want at the end.
Okay.
And they've done it in Python, which is perfect for, like, software engineers.
So is this like, are we
Uh,
talking about chaining commands together?
Yeah.
Like we do in Linux with pipes?
Exactly, but it gives you more of that Python expressiveness
Okay.
right in your terminal.
Oh.
It's not just text manipulation you can bring in, like
Ah.
Python libraries,
Right.
your own code even.
Now you mentioned the GitHub repo.
Yeah.
What did you notice when you were looking at the code?
Well, one of the things that I really liked is
Yeah.
that it's really, really clean, well-structured code.
Okay.
Clearly, a lot of thought went into making it not just work,
Yeah.
but also be maintainable,
Yeah.
extensible, which I think is important for software engineers.
So it's not just like some thrown together script. It's like a real...
No, this is
Yeah.
a real deal.
That's good to know. So let's get into it. How does this thing work?
So PyPipe gives you a set of commands,
Okay.
and each one is designed to handle different types of data manipulation.
Okay.
You've got commands for like lines of text,
Right.
records, CSVs, entire files even.
Wow. Okay.
And you can chain these commands together using the pipe symbol.
Just like in Linux.
Yeah, just like Linux.
So if I'm working with like data that has a specific structure,
Okay.
like, let's say a log file,
Yeah.
and there's specific fields I want to extract,
Yeah.
what command would I use for that?
You want to use the rec command?
The rec command.
Yeah, it's made for that.
Okay.
Working with data that has structure, so you can split the lines,
Okay.
access specific fields.
Okay.
You can mess with the headers.
Oh,
Even use regular expressions for delimiters if you want.
hold on. Regular expressions.
Yeah.
That sounds complicated.
It can be, but it's
Yeah.
really flexible, especially if you're a software engineer,
Yeah.
dealing with crazy log files and stuff.
Yeah.
Mastering regex with PyPipe, that's like a secret weapon.
Okay, so can you give me like an actual example
Yeah.
of how you might use this rec command?
Yeah, so imagine you're debugging something, right?
Okay.
Some complicated application.
Yeah.
You've got a huge log file.
Yeah.
And you need to find all of the log entries that have like a certain error code.
Okay.
And you want to pull out like the timestamp,
Uh-huh.
the actual error message,
Uh-huh.
so you can like analyze it later.
Okay.
You can do all of that with the rec command.
Okay.
A little bit of regex magic
Okay.
right from your terminal.
Wow.
You don't need to open up your IDE
Okay, so it's like right in the terminal.
right there.
You can just get it done.
Get it done.
That's really useful,
Well-
especially when you're,
Especially when you're debugging.
you just want to get it done.
You need to see it right now.
Yeah.
It's all about speed and efficiency.
And that seems like it's a good sweet spot for PyPipe, right?
Yeah.
It's like, it's more than just ad hoc,
Yeah,
but it's not.
but it's not a full script either.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's right in between.
Now, we've been talking about structured data,
Yeah.
but what if I just have like plain text?
You can use the line command for that?
The line command.
Yeah.
I-
That's perfect for manipulating individual lines of text.
So like if I want to
Yeah.
like clean up some config file or something.
Exactly. Filter lines, extract characters, replace strings, all of that.
So like, let's say I'm refactoring some code, right?
Yeah.
Big code base.
Uh-huh.
And I need to find every instance of a function call.
You could use the line command with a regex
Okay.
and just, bam, find them all and modify them all.
Wow. Okay, so it feels like we're just scratching the surface here.
Yeah, we are.
And we keep mentioning regular expressions.
It is a big part of it.
So it seems like that's a key part.
If you want to unlock the full power,
Well,
you got to learn regex.
so those who are already familiar, I think, will appreciate that.
Yeah.
But for those who aren't,
There's a lot of good resources.
is there anything in like the documentation?
Yeah, the documentation is really good.
Yeah.
They have a whole section on regex.
And the GitHub repo also probably has good examples, right?
Oh, yeah. Tons of them.
Okay, cool. So we can manipulate text, we can manipulate structured data.
Yep.
All from the terminal.
All from the terminal.
I feel like there's got to be more.
Oh, there's more.
Okay.
There's a lot more. Like, for example,
Yeah.
did you know that PyPipe can automatically handle data type conversions.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's very useful
That's
because,
so useful.
I mean, I'm always working with strings and ints and floats, and
all the time.
having to constantly cast them is such a pain.
It is.
So PyPipe just takes care of that.
Yeah, it just does it for you.
Wow.
Figures it out and does the conversions.
Now, there's got to be a catch, right?
Well,
Is there some performance hit or something?
there is a slight performance hit,
Okay.
especially if you're working with huge data sets.
Yeah.
But for most everyday tasks, it's so convenient,
Yeah.
worth it.
Yeah, the convenience probably outweighs the performance hit
Totally.
for most people, especially if they're not working with huge data sets.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. And I bet, some of our more hardcore listeners are like,
I'm sure they're already
I don't
thinking about how they could optimize it.
yeah.
But for most of us, it's probably fine.
Okay, so now this is where things get really interesting.
Okay, tell me.
So PyPipe,
Yeah.
it's not just running these commands.
Mm.
It's actually generating Python code.
It is.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
So it's a code generator.
It is a code generator.
Oh my God.
That's one of the things that makes it so cool.
Okay, so how does that work? Can we see the code that it generates?
You can. So when you run your PyPipe command,
Yeah.
you just use the -p flag,
Okay.
and it will print the Python code to your terminal.
Wow. And that's useful for debugging and stuff, right?
It's super useful for debugging,
Yeah.
for understanding what's happening,
Okay.
even for creating your own scripts.
Well, you're saying we can take this generated code
Yeah.
and make our own scripts.
Yeah, totally.
This is blowing my mind. This is amazing.
It is.
Okay, so PyPipe, it's not just a tool.
It's a platform.
Yeah, it's like a platform for data manipulation.
It is.
Okay, but let's back up for a sec.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot. So we talked about
We have.
rec, we talked about line.
Yeah.
We talked about this code generation.
The automatic type conversion.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
So much. Okay.
A lot of features.
So who would really benefit from using PyPipe?
Anyone who works with data on the command line.
So software engineers,
Definitely.
data scientists, anybody like that
Yeah, people who are comfortable in the terminal.
who are already doing this stuff.
Yeah, they can just take it to the next level.
Now, some people might be intimidated by the command line.
I know. Some people think it's
Yeah.
old-fashioned,
Yeah,
but they're missing out.
I know.
The command line is so powerful.
Yeah.
You have so much control.
Yeah, it's a direct connection to the operating system.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't get that with a graphical interface.
And with tools like PyPipe,
Yeah.
it's becoming even easier to use.
It's not as scary as it used to be.
No.
Yeah.
So
if I'm a software engineer,
yeah.
I've been using Python for years, but I've never really used the command line that much.
I'd say think about all of those
Yeah.
repetitive tasks that you have to do manually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine being able to automate all of that.
Yeah.
With PyPipe, you can.
And then all those Python libraries that we talked about.
Yeah. Bring them all in.
So it really becomes part of your workflow.
It does. It becomes essential.
Okay. I'm sold. I'm going to download PyPipe after we finish recording this.
I think you should.
But there's one more thing I want to touch on.
Okay.
We've talked about how this code generation
Yeah?
is really useful for debugging and making scripts.
Yeah.
But I think there's even more to it.
Oh, okay. What else?
You can actually learn Python from it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, by using PyPipe
Mm-hmm.
and seeing the code that it generates. You can see how the syntax works.
Right.
You can see how to structure your code.
It's like a built-in tutor.
Yeah, it's like a tutor.
That's really cool.
And it's open source, right?
It is.
So maybe people will even contribute to it.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's welcome to contribute.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a great community.
So I think we've covered a lot today.
We have.
We talked about, the basic commands.
Yeah.
We talked about some of the advanced features.
The code generation.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff.
It's a deep dive.
It's a deep dive, but before we move on,
Okay.
I want to leave our listeners with something to think about.
All right, I'm ready.
So we've seen how PyPipe can streamline all this data manipulation
Yeah.
and automate tasks.
Yep.
But what about
Oh, but what about?
using it for creative stuff?
Oh,
What if we use it to generate poetry or music?
that's a cool idea.
I mean, it can handle all these different data formats.
Yeah, and all those libraries.
Yeah.
Sky's the limit.
Yeah. So what if we think of it as a tool for artistic expression?
That's awesome.
It's not just about manipulating data. It's about manipulating ideas.
I like that.
So think outside the box.
Yeah.
Don't just use it to automate your work. Use it to unleash your creativity.
Experiment with it.
Yeah, see what amazing things you can create.
See what you can make.
All right, that's it for today.
All right.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
As we're talking about this,
Yeah.
I'm thinking about all the time, like, this could save me.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I could see myself using PyPipe to automate all those
Totally.
little data tasks that I always have to do manually.
Yeah, that's what's so great about it. It's like,
Yeah.
it's more than just a command line thing, but it's not like writing a full script.
Yeah, it's like right in the sweet spot.
It's right in between
Yeah.
the best of both worlds.
And we're not just limited to, like, these basic operations either, right?
No, not at all.
I mean, Python has so many libraries. Like, we can bring in the entire Python ecosystem.
That's the point.
Wow.
So if you're already using like pandas
Yeah.
for data analysis or NumPy for like numerical stuff,
Yeah.
you can just use all of that with PyPipe.
So how does that actually work?
Wow.
Is there, like, some special configuration or something?
No, it's really simple.
Okay.
Remember, PyPipe is generating Python code.
Right.
So you just import those libraries just like you would in a regular Python script.
So, like, if I wanted to use pandas
Yeah.
to filter a CSV file, I could just import pandas and write the code
Exactly.
right in my PyPipe command.
Exactly.
Wow, that's really cool.
And if you use the -p flag
Yeah.
to print the generated code, you'll see that PyPipe even adds the import statements for you.
It's like, it's reading my mind.
It's pretty smart.
Okay, so I have the simplicity of the command line,
Yeah.
but I also have all the power of Python.
That's the idea.
Wow, okay, this is
It's powerful stuff.
really cool.
And that's where the code generation really shines.
Yeah.
It not only lets you use these libraries, but it helps you understand how it all works.
Yeah, it's like a learning tool.
It is. It's like peeking behind the curtain.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about custom commands,
Okay.
because we touched on those earlier.
Yeah, we did.
And I feel like that's where we can really take PyPipe to the next level.
Totally. So if you need to do something
Yeah.
that PyPipe doesn't have a built-in command for,
Okay.
you can write your own.
Okay, but do I need to be like a Python expert to do that?
No, not at all.
Okay.
It's really simple.
Okay.
There's a special file where you define these custom commands.
Okay.
It's usually in your like configuration directory, and you just write regular Python functions.
Oh, so it's just plain Python.
Plain Python.
Okay.
The function takes the input data,
Okay.
does whatever it needs to do,
Uh-huh.
and returns the output.
So it could be really simple or it could be really complex.
As simple or as complex as you need.
Okay, so let's say I have my custom command, I wrote it.
Yeah.
How do I actually use it in a PyPipe pipeline?
So you use the custom command
Okay.
with the -n flag,
Okay.
followed by the name of your command.
Okay.
And PyPipe knows to go look for that function.
So if I had a function called extract emails,
Yeah.
I would use custom-n extract email.
Exactly.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's like plugging in a new module.
Yeah, it's like I'm building my own little toolbox here.
You are.
This is really powerful stuff.
And you can share these commands with other people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you could create a whole library.
Wow, the possibilities are endless.
They are. You're only limited by your imagination.
Okay, but let's be realistic for a sec.
Okay.
Who is PyPipe really for?
I think it's for anyone who's comfortable working with data
Yeah.
on the command line.
So software engineers,
Right.
data scientists, people like that.
People who are already doing this kind of stuff,
Yeah,
they can just use PyPipe to do it better.
Now, some people might be a little scared of the command line.
I know, it can be a little intimidating.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's not that bad.
I used to be scared of it too.
Me too.
But once you start using it,
You realize how powerful it is.
yeah, and with tools like PyPipe, it's getting easier.
Way easier. It's
Yeah.
not like the old days.
So let's say I'm a software engineer
Yeah.
and I've been using Python forever, but I've never really used the command line much.
I would say think about all of those tasks. All
Uh-huh.
those manual data tasks that you hate doing.
Yeah.
PyPipe can automate all of that for you.
And I can use all those great Python libraries.
All of them.
Okay, you've convinced me. I'm downloading PyPipe
Do it.
as soon as we're done here.
I think you'll love it.
But there's one more thing I want to touch on.
Oh, okay.
We've been talking about how PyPipe generates code
Oh.
and how that's useful for debugging and making scripts.
Uh-huh.
But I think you can actually use it to learn Python.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, by looking at the generated code,
Uh-huh.
you can see how Python syntax works.
Right.
You can see how to structure your code properly.
It's like having a teacher right there.
Yeah, like a built-in tutor.
Exactly.
And PyPipe is open source, right?
It is.
So people could even contribute to the project.
That would be great.
Yeah, if they wanted to.
Yeah. Anyone can contribute.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a great community.
Okay, so we've covered a lot today.
A lot.
We've talked about basic commands,
Yeah.
advanced features,
Code generation.
code generation, the whole thing.
It's been a deep dive.
It really has. But before we wrap up,
Yeah.
I want to leave our listeners with something to think about.
Okay. I'm listening.
We've seen how PyPipe can automate a lot of data stuff,
Uh-huh.
but what if we use it for something more creative?
Oh, like what?
Like, what if we use it to generate poetry?
That's a cool idea.
Or music?
I like it.
I mean, it can handle all these different data formats.
Yeah.
It can talk to all these different Python libraries.
The possibilities are endless.
Yeah, so what if we think of PyPipe as a tool for artistic expression?
That's awesome.
So don't just use it for work.
Yeah.
Use it to unleash your creativity.
Experiment.
Yeah, experiment.
See what you can make.
See what amazing things you can create.
Exactly.
Okay, well, that's it for today.
Great.
Thanks for joining us. You know, thinking about PyPipe as a creative tool,
Yeah.
it's pretty wild.
It is. It just shows you the power of open source.
Yeah, you never know what people are going to do with it.
When you give people powerful tools,
Yeah.
amazing things happen.
And the fact that it's built on Python,
Right.
which is already so versatile,
Yeah. Huge ecosystem.
it just opens up even more
That's
possibilities.
for sure.
You know, it's funny, as we've been talking about PyPipe,
Yeah.
I've been comparing it to other command line tools I use.
Uh-huh.
And what strikes me is that PyPipe is both really powerful, but also approachable.
I think that's a big part of its appeal.
Yeah.
It doesn't overwhelm you.
Yeah, you don't have to be an expert to get started.
Exactly. You can start simple,
Yeah.
and as you learn more,
Yeah.
you can do more advanced stuff.
And the community is really helpful too, right?
Oh, yeah. The community is amazing.
You're always sharing examples and scripts and stuff.
Tons of resources.
Yeah, I was looking at the GitHub repo,
Yeah.
and there's so much activity there.
Yeah. It's a very active project.
Lots of issues and pull requests and stuff.
People are constantly working on it.
So that's a good sign. It means it's well maintained.
It is, and it's constantly evolving.
Okay, so let's say someone's convinced
Okay.
they want to try PyPipe.
Yeah.
What's the best way to get started?
I would say head over to the website. They have
Yeah.
really good documentation.
And the GitHub repo has a lot of examples, right?
Tons of examples.
Okay, real world stuff.
And there's probably like forums and chat groups and things like that. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool.
The community is always happy to help.
So I think we've covered a lot about PyPipe today.
I think so.
We've looked at its features.
Yeah.
We've talked about its benefits.
Even some creative stuff.
Yeah, the creative stuff.
Pretty cool.
Hopefully our listeners are excited to give it a try,
I hope so.
especially our software engineer listeners.
Yeah, it's a great tool for them.
It's really well suited.
Yeah, it's built by engineers for engineers.
So if you're a software engineer
Yeah.
and you're looking for a way to like level up
Yep.
your command line skills, streamline your workflow,
Make your life easier.
make your life easier,
Fry PyPipe.
try PyPipe.
You won't regret it.
I think that's a great place to end it.
Sounds good.
Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
And until next time, keep exploring and keep learning.